What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of May 28th and the 29th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all. I hope you're having a great week, great Friday evening. If you're catching this, I am putting this out a little bit early. And if you're catching it on Saturday, well, I hope you had a great week and you're ready for the weekend. Let's look at the horoscope this weekend. We'll start with Saturday because that comes before Sunday. And, well, on this Saturn day, we're going to have the sun at 7 degrees in Gemini. But really the bigger stuff, of course, we'll talk about that sun in Gemini being a lone ranger out there. But the big stuff is, of course, this dark moon in Taurus. But the biggest stuff this weekend is Venus coming into dignification. Boom, Venus plus 10, baby, beating Saturn, highest scored planet in all of the universe, at least that we know of in our systems. This brings up the quality of our life, that relationship to yourself, being able to take care of yourself, nurture yourself, create life to bring it in. It is bringing the good stuff to you. It's using that attraction quality that you have, sort of a magnetic ability to have physical abundance in life. This brings up money even more, though. We've been seeing money stuff in the world. This is definitely going to bring money and finance and monetary stuff to, it's a big deal this weekend. Maybe just in our personal lives, dealing with the high inflation that's going on in the United States and other countries, just having to really look at things. It was crazy. I filled up my gas tank on the way to work today, and yeah, it was $6.50 a gallon for regular. My 2008 Saturn, I don't put premium in it. It just gets regular. But still, it's expensive. Is what it is, of course, but this is definitely, not tripping so much on the exterior, but knowing how to acquire more value in your life. That's a big point of where we're at. We got Mercury retrograde coming to 26 degrees, coming off that trine over to Pluto, but more importantly, starting to square Saturn very intensely, where it's going to, really sit there within about a degree of Saturn. So they're looking at each other very square in the eye as they're both slowing down to change direction. So this brings up a lot of realizing how to create better in your life, in your environment, what's close to you, how to transmute the exterior, how to transmute what's around you to make the quality of your life better. And that takes you finding and digging deep and realizing this great power, because this weekend we are going to have the Mars-Jupiter conjunction, which is, of course, a big deal. We haven't had that for 12 years, and I haven't even looked to see if we do get it in 12 years from now, because Mars doesn't come back to, a sign for every 2 years. And, we might not get this for a while. I should have looked, but I didn't. So it is a pretty rare thing to have it with this big Aries filter for this conjunction that really does only happen every 2 years anyways with Jupiter. So it has this strong Aries filter of courage, identification, definition of the story, of the abundance that you do want to create in your life. And I think it brings up big decisions with Mercury square Saturn, where it can also feel like mental blocks. But hey, it's the weekend. Get creative. Get, tuned into what you really want in your environment and what's going to make you feel better. That moon in Taurus definitely wants to feel comfortable, but it's with Uranus in the North Node. So it's yeah, I'm an exalted moon here, and Venus is the ruling planet, just came in. So we have the two strongest planets you could have in Taurus at the same time. Well, a luminary with the moon and the planet Venus, but the two strongest planetary bodies, if you will, in this Taurus sign with the North Node Uranus. So there's rapid change to bringing value into your life, but it's a dark moon. So it's also really moving out of situations and having that strong direction and definition to have better and to know what can be disconnected from and what can wane out and what can go away so that new exciting things can come up. And the sun at 7 degrees is very spiritual. So it's we can definitely want to overthink things and be in our mind, but it is going to be your intuition that's actually going to thrive today and show you the creative truths and show you the different little pivots and tweaks and turns that you can make happen. It can be, much quicker, but it's like, what are the signs spiritually to everything? And instead of trying to really just understand mentally, like, what is your gut saying? What are your instincts saying? What are your soul's desires? These are how you create value. And I think that, it's just one of those times where we're having to redefine what value is in life all around us, whether it's dealing with relationships, because Venus in Taurus is much more relationship to self, where Venus in, of course, Libra, its other sign that it rules, is definitely about the other and finding the justice and the balance and the beauty in what's opposite from yourself. But, this is like really finding the balance and the beauty and the value and having the confidence within yourself. So it's like self-love is so important. And with the Aries energy, like, it's definitely one of those times where like you really have to identify what makes you feel good and be able to take care of yourself, because there's an emphasis of wanting to really rely on other people with that South Node in Scorpio to bring you the value of life. And I think Saturn in Aquarius is saying that people are valuable and people are important, but you have to know when to pull back. You have to know when to get some of your own space. You have to know when to get and start figuring things out for yourself so that you can have the epiphany moments on your own to bring to groups, to bring to relationships, to bring to society. You never get those if you don't kind of have a moment to kind of quiet the mind. And I know it's a holiday weekend. There's a lot going on. So, definitely try to take some time out this weekend and like carve out like a little chunk, at least so, especially Saturday, you can get back to yourself and these intuitive insights with the moon on Uranus, trying to make changes to what you do feel comfortable about and trying to make you, find different ways to bring value in, to feel valuable within yourself. But it's kind of weird because the moon and Uranus, right? The moon and Uranus are so different. The moon is all about the feeling and all about the emotion, and there is not a drop of emotion in Uranus. So it can bring up a lot of emotional intelligence if we're not getting lost in what we don't have, but realizing that there's creative insight into creating what we might desire, but being able to have courage, because this Aries energy with Mars and Jupiter is definitely like you have to have courage right now and definition in who you are and what you want. And I think if you can get back to the truth of what it is you really want and what you need in life and how you can be comfortable without overextending yourself to please others, when it's all said and done, you're going to be so happy you did that, because you're going to have made the harder decisions, or you're going to have had the harder conversations or talks or debates in life. But sometimes you gotta kind of have that that ground within yourself. And trust yourself. And I think it's hard in some ways because Chiron, of course, is in Aries, and even the sun is sextiling the midpoint of Jupiter and Chiron, and Mars and Chiron. So, there is this like, gosh, am I making the right decision for myself? It's like a little vulnerable, but it's also very empowering at the same time. So there's so much that is very empowering in life right now when you are stepping up, but it can create conflict, and we can get in mental places where we're feeling like, like we're not being understood, or other people aren't, seeing our values or our side. And I think we definitely want to at least value ourselves. But, if we're in those situations with other people too, like we have to try to value their side, but definitely, value where you're at too. And that moon's going to finish off, the day Saturday with a square to Saturn after it hits the North Node. So there's just a lot going on too about, big decisions that bring about emotional resilience in life. So, you gotta kind of take some hits this week that you might not be, or this weekend that you might not have been expecting or wanted to, but it's like you gotta step up and just kind of face the music. Let things, be expressed, be said, and they'll go where they're meant to go from there. And it might be that, moment of solitude within yourself where you can get the courage. And some people don't need that, of course. Some people will just walk out in the world and have the courage to say exactly what they want to say, but it's not like that for everybody. And there can be sort of throat chakra blockage coming into this weekend and next week with this Mercury square Saturn, where it's like, ooh, do I really want to say this? Like, you do, you need to, you can't be scared right now. Have the courage to really be honest with the life and the direction and the environment and the people and the relationships and the value that you really do desire. And I think there's a ton of healing, and I think overall you're going to build your own self-confidence up, especially Saturday with Venus at 0 degrees of Taurus. Like, there's a big confidence boost here when you do step up for what it is that, you really want in life, and what's, top shelf, the best, that makes you feel just good about yourself. And that's hard because we can want to please others, and there's nothing wrong with helping and pleasing others, but sometimes you got to put yourself first, and this is one of those weekends where I think that's very, very, very important. As we come to Sunday, we're going to see the sun, of course, come to 8 degrees, which is, a pretty serious Saturn degree in Gemini, so it's pretty serious in thought, pretty got to make responsible, decisions based around what the heart is finding excitement in, or the debate that needs to go down in life. And that moon is coming into Gemini too, getting ready for the new moon on Monday, Memorial Day, in Gemini at 9 degrees. So it's very much balsamic, very dark, and we can't see it. So it's interesting. It feels like blind spot energy, and I talked about that, pretty recently with Saturn and Neptune. So it's just having to really look both at the spiritual and the physical in life and see what's in that blind spot and the sweet spot, so that you can make decisions and kind of step up. Sunday's definitely is this the best decision for me? Is this about my truth, or is this about someone else's truth? Is this about beliefs? And I think it's a big deal too. We're getting, of course, the first new moon in Gemini since the nodes moved and ingressed. So, it's kind of really ending a lot of the eclipse energy from 2020 into 2021. So, beliefs have changed, truth has changed, information has come through and changed things in our life. And we've all gotten new beliefs too. And I think it's definitely important to, take a look at where those beliefs are, as we do get Mars and Jupiter coming together as well on Sunday, and Mars passing Jupiter, definitely getting the knowledge from the great guru Jupiter about what you do need in life to take action and how to muster courage. And even with the new moon on Aldebaran, this is Archangel Michael, this is, God's general in life. So it's really stepping up and being that general for the light, as the moon's even in the Pleiades on Sunday, where the Mercury retrograde Cazimi was at 0 on May 21st. So, a lot of this weekend is making big decisions about the light within you to step up and, as Archangel Michael would with his sword, cut away the darkness. But there's also the truth of that. There's no getting rid of darkness, but it's being able to cut through it. And then Archangel Michael's always pulling people out, and saving, people too. So I do think by saving yourself and amplifying who you are and the warrior within you, and being that, God's warrior, a spiritual warrior, in an essence that you're in your truth and you're living your life in your day-to-day, existence, and in your environments and with people that really align with that truth, because it's part of your value system, because value is so amplified right now. And it is about really individuating that with Uranus here and the North Node. They're going to be meeting in a couple months at 18 degrees of Taurus. And Mars will be there for that in Taurus. So this is definitely a big boost here. You want to boost your confidence. You want to boost your independence, so that you can really dedicate to truth, your truth, the subjective one, and be able to have conversations and be able to speak up, even though Mercury's now at 26 and really starting to square Saturn. So it's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and this Mercury's getting slower and slower. So if we look at the scores, we see Mercury going 18 minutes a day and Saturn going 36 seconds a day. So Saturn's like literally done moving, and it can feel like time is kind of stopped, even though we're in Gemini season and it feels like things are happening so fast. But Mercury's also retrograde dispositing this new lunation, so it's very interesting. It can feel like lost in time, kind of. But it's almost like there is a timelessness to this moment, because time is irrelevant when it comes to your self-worth, your value, your story, your identification, what you need to learn, what direction you need to aim in, how to really amplify the things in life that bring quality to your world. And maybe this isn't about money, maybe this isn't about physical things, but maybe it's just about that depth of worth that's getting amplified within you, that makes you feel stronger and more courageous to stand up in a big way. Because even Mars, Jupiter coming together, like that energy just in itself is very Antares and very Aldebaran. It's very Mars, Jupiter energy. It's big warrior energy, big general energy. Like those are the two generals, those stars. Some say this is Archangel Michael, right? And then some say Antares is Lucifer. And they're always in opposition. So it's a lot about that battle of light and dark, and cutting through the dark so you can be in your most authentic, unique truth and value, and creating life powerfully in that direction without getting lost, because Mars in Jupiter is almost like a storm. Because remember, Jupiter has some of the craziest storms on it. Jupiter is basically a giant storm. So, it can feel like life can feel like a storm right now, especially, kind of a whirlwind with desires or with change or trying to find our way. Even Mars, this great warrior, can get lost in the, great, what is like the great terrain of Jupiter, the great, I don't want to say abyss because that's more Neptune, but the great abundance of Jupiter too. So it's somehow figuring out the best direction of the highest quality of your uniqueness and not getting lost in all these other options that are trying to pull you away into a dark space, into darkness, and really focusing on the light that you want to dedicate to, that you want to be persistent for, and the resilience you have this weekend to make the change for better. And to not settle for less, because it's one of those weekends where it's almost like Mars, Jupiter's coming together, and if you're going to settle for less, then you're almost setting into existence with this 12-year cycle of Mars, Jupiter, the story that you're willing to take less, and that's all you want. And again, don't make it just about money. Make this spiritual for yourself. Make this about the quality of whatever it is you want. Don't lose your chance this weekend to set in motion some of the most powerful energy for your truth and the light of the life that you want to live, and the great, way that you can be the most authentic version of yourself to do that. And it takes courage to be an individual, and it takes courage to be a trailblazer right now and to step up for what you honestly believe in, to be your truth. And this is that weekend, and coming into this lunation on Monday, this is where some of the biggest lines in the sand are drawn moving into the future. And you got to find out within yourself what side you want to be on. And I'm not going to sit here and discuss what those sides are, because it's your definition of the side you want to be on. And I don't even want to implant some form of what that looks like in your life, because I have no idea what that looks like for you. It's your life. Define it. All right. Hope you have a great weekend, though. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you all. And we will see what some tarot cards say. Whoa. We'll see what some tarot cards say today. Oh my God. 5 dicks. That's the energy this weekend. 5 dicks. Good luck. Bless you all. Okay. The Fool card reversed. Oh gosh, that's definitely, that's the drunk card. That's literally like not seeing clearly, completely just aloof and foolish to life. And this is one of those weekends where you really do want to be paying attention. You do not want to be walking around like some homeless drunk fool under a bridge right now. Like, don't go into this cycle with that kind of energy, because you deserve so much better, and and happiness and clarity, because that's Gemini too. There's a clarity here, and Saturn in Aquarius, there's a clarity to air signs, and even Mercury square that Saturn. Like, you do not want to be some drunk moving forward here. And even with Mercury on Algol, which is the demon star and rules alcohol, like, I know it's a holiday weekend. I feel like, be careful with that energy. Is that really the energy you want to take into the next 12 years of some really hard astrology, of some huge changes? I mean, maybe ignorance is bliss. Maybe just wandering around this world drunk and in Neptune and Pisces land in the escape world, maybe that is, a path that would be worth taking. I don't know. I'm not here to make those calls, but ask that question to yourself and answer honestly. Wow, the Hanged Man, 2 major arcana. This one's upright though. So it's definitely like tune out and get back to looking at other angles here and get back to the solitude of life. And pay attention to the stuff you're not seeing. Why'd we get the Hanged Man right there? 4 of Pentacles in reverse. We have to look at these different perspectives to see what the true value is and what we really want to hold on to. It's almost like we don't know. Like there's such an unclarity about what is the valuable way of life right now, and there's so much split, I think, just in that that you have to really get back to what's inwardly going on and figure out what it is you want to grab onto right now. And the only way to do that, I think, is to take a moment for yourself and like to meditate. Remember, the Hanged Man is Neptune as well, so there is that like spiritual side of it where you need to get back to spiritually how you're feeling, and that's where clarity is, and that's where you probably won't feel like the drunkard. And we got the 2 of Wands upright. I mean, there's definitely choices that I think the heart can make that can bring more love. Is that a UFO? Oh my God. Sure is. And 2 gay guys kissing. So, choices from the heart, and how to see that you hold so much creative potential in your hands, and you can have whatever it is you do desire. And there's almost like outer forces with that alien spaceship and that too, that are like trying to come in and show you that there's better out there for you, but you have to be willing to see clearly and look out into the abundance that this universe has to offer and make choices that are going to bring that to you and not push them away because you just want to escape. It's a bad weekend to escape. This needs to be a weekend of like clarity and definition for this great story, because you can have so much power going into it, and it's hard. It's almost too bad that this astrology falls on a weekend where people just want to. They do just naturally want to escape. So we'll see where the world decides to go, but that's just my take on it with the astrology. What's up with the chat? What up, Ashley? Jackie? Abella Soul, Tourmaline Tarot, thank you for being here. Aesthetic Delta, what up, homie? Chelsea Chase, what up? Caught Alive, yeah. Take no prisoners. That's a good way to put it. I like that. Yeah, Twin Starseed, what up? Appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining me. I did this a little earlier, and it's nice to see some people in the chat. I usually get these dailies out pretty late, but they've been earlier this week. I've been like, I have this moment. I'm just going to do it. I just do these when I feel the inspiration. Like, I know I'm going to do them every day, but it's just like when it hits, I'm just like, oh, yep, time to do a horoscope. Sometimes it's the last thing of the day because I didn't have time. Sometimes it's just, I'm doing it now. Here we go. Do I have big plans for the weekend? No, I canceled some big plans for the weekend, and that was a hard decision to make. But it was one I felt I had to make, and I am going to go to the beach and lay in the sun and ride my bike. I might just park my car for the whole weekend and ride my bike everywhere I need to go because I love to ride my bike, and I haven't done it much over the last couple weeks, so I might paint it too. I might get some spray paint and like give it a fresh like custom paint job if I'm feeling real froggy. Very Gemini. Bikes, kind of that kind of way of communicating. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend, and sending you my best. Thank you, Starflower. I appreciate that you tune in. And yeah. What up, Shelly? People are popping in the chat. I'm about to peace out, and people are popping in. Yeah, my weekend's gonna be chill. Ashley, I'm gonna chill hard. I need it. There's so much coming up in life right now, and I'm already on the go enough as it is. So it'll be nice to like quiet things down for myself, and then doing this reading. Because trust me, I don't like predetermine what I'm gonna say in these readings. Like, I open my iPad and like put the chart up so that it can go on this monitor, and I hit stream. And I'll tell you why I do that too, is because I, in human design, have an undefined throat. So I do not have a defined throat center. So it's a miracle that I even speak to you all every day. But the thing about that undefined throat is I can't predetermine what I'm going to say, or it comes out really bad. Like, the best horoscopes I do, or the best chart readings I do for people, and this is why too with readings for people, I just pull their chart up 10 minutes before the reading, and I don't look at it, and I don't sit there and judge it and analyze it for hours before the reading. I have to right brain it, and I have to channel it and just be in some kind of flow in the moment, or I can't. I can't do it. That's what it's like having an undefined, head, ajna, throat. I only have a root. I have my root, sacral, and my emotional center defined. So I'm just like pure motor and energy, and like grounded and emotionally, have a good foundation. But everything else, I'm very open, very susceptible to lots of programming. It's a miracle I even deprogrammed myself in this reality too. Anyways, guess I just want to talk to you guys too. But yeah, trust yourself. Straight up. And as someone with an undefined ego in human design, I can tell you that the biggest thing anybody with an undefined ego can do is to trust themselves and to not try to prove themselves to the world. Just be you. You're proven just by being here. There's my human design lessons for the day. Oh, hello, Lucitka. My dear friend that shuns me. Gets her own channel. Gets some fame. Doesn't hang out with her old friend anymore. I'm just kidding. You guys should all follow Lucitka. She puts out some really amazing astrology, and she just started her channel, and she has a great voice, and she knows what she's doing, and she's great. So check out Lucidka in the chat. Give her a sub, or just type in Lucidka, which is LUCIDTKA, and follow on Instagram. There's your plug. You happy now? Just kidding. My human design, I'm a 1-3 emotional generator. Emo. Yeah. About time you get a shout out. What up, James? Gosh, I was gonna just get off, but everybody keeps popping in, and it's kind of fun to talk with you guys. Definitely been a kind of isolated day. You're a brat. I gave you the shout out. Don't brat me. God. Typical. All right, I'm out of here. I love you guys very much. Have a great weekend. It's definitely a day. It's a weekend, but we got this. This is powerful stuff here about your journey and who you are and where you're defining life and your story and your truth. And don't set yourself up to be homeless under a bridge. This is where you put the energy in motion of the most powerful, valuable version of yourself. Love you all very much. See you on Monday. Peace.